Hello, welcome to Redhead Cakes. Today we're going to be making a basic chocolate cake with chocolate buttercream. Let's have a look at how it's made. We have here all the things that you'll need to make this cake. As you can see, I've already prepared 2 cake tins. I did this by brushing them with a small amount of margarine and lining them with greaseproof paper. Also, I've preheated the oven to 160 degrees Celsius, ready for the cake. Here I've measured 125 millilitres of milk into a measuring jug. I'm going to add 2 large eggs to the mix. Hopefully without making too much mess. And I'm going to mix it with an electric whisk until the mixture's light and fluffy. We'll set this to one side for just a moment. And in my bowl, I've put 100 grams of stork, which is a lot lighter and healthier than butter. And we'll give that a mix with the electric hand whisk. Then we'll add 200 grams of caster sugar. And give it another mix. In this bowl, I've mixed 250 grams of self-raising flour with 2 teaspoons of baking powder and 2 tablespoons of cocoa powder. I'm going to add a little bit of flour with the baking powder and cocoa powder and a little bit of the egg and milk mix, and just keep mixing it in with my electric hand whisk. I'll keep repeating this until all of the ingredients that I've measured out are part of the cake mix. As you can see, it's starting to look a little bit more like cake mixture now. Just put the last bit in. Make sure you get it all out. Now what we'll do is we'll divide it equally between these 2 tins and we'll get it in the oven. Got them quite even. What I like to do is just give them a tiny shake so the mixture's evenly spread when I put them in the oven. So there's the cake just gone in the oven. We'll come back in 20 minutes and see how it's done. While the cake's baking, it's quite a good time to make the buttercream icing. I struggled to find a good recipe for quite a while, but I've got one now. What I do is I mix 125 grams of the stork block with 250 grams of icing sugar. It's important that you use this stork block because it's healthier than butter, and I find that the stork tub doesn't quite taste the same. And to turn it into chocolate buttercream, which we're going to do, you just need a tablespoon of cocoa powder. So we'll start by just chopping the part of the stork block that we actually need to make it to 125 grams. Just drop it into a bowl. I always like to give it a quick mix with the electric mixer before I add the icing sugar, because I find that makes it a little bit easier to mix as well. Just slowly start adding the icing sugar to the stork. Might get a few dust clouds. It doesn't really look like it's going to mix in, but it will eventually. You've just got to keep going. Let's just add the last little bit, mix that in, and then we can add some cocoa powder to make it into chocolate butter icing. Okay, so we finished mixing it. In goes a nice, I like a heaped tablespoon of the cocoa powder. And we'll give it a little mix, and then hopefully we'll have chocolate butter icing. Okay, so here's our finished chocolate butter icing. And that sounds like it's time to get the cake out of the oven. Seems to have risen quite well. When you've got the cakes out of the oven, it's always best to put them on a wire cooling rack while they cool down. I always check that my cakes are cooked by just putting a skewer in a couple of places, and if it comes out clean, that's a sign that it's done. Okay, so now they're a bit cooler, let's try and get them out of the tins. You just run a knife all the way around the edge of the cake, and hopefully it should come out. Just do the same with the other one. And then just peel the greaseproof paper off the bottom. Might just want to balance it on there while they finish cooling down. Okay, so let's put the butter icing in. We need about half for the middle and about half to go on top. Just try and spread it as evenly as we can. There's the butter icing for the middle of the cake. I didn't want to put too much on because there's some going on top as well. We don't want it to be too sickly. So just put the top on. Make sure it's stuck well and it's straight. And start putting the rest of the butter icing on top. So there it is, all covered in chocolate buttercream icing. Get a plate. Place it gently on there, makes it look a bit tidier. I like mine with just buttercream on the top, but you can always add some chocolate sprinkles or some grated chocolate or whatever you like. Let's get us a bit of a close-up of the cake. Now that we're finished, let's cut a slice and see what it looks like. Thank you for watching, I hope you enjoyed it. I'm going to go and enjoy a nice slice of cake. Please check out my channel and I'll see you next time.